Hey guys, my name is Divya. I'm a doctor and I have been in a management role with a healthcare company for a while. I recently took the SHRM exam and I cracked it. I've been doing a series of videos to help everybody out to pass the SHRM exam. There are a variety of videos, tips and tricks, do's and don'ts, how to apply for the exam and the eligibility criteria. So I really hope that these videos are helping you. If they are, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. So currently we are on the series of don'ts. My last video, I will leave the link in the description box below, had a series of don'ts as to what you should not do if you really want to study and get SHRM certified. So this could be a part 2 or a sequel to that video. So here are my 3 don'ts, the 3 things that you should not be doing while studying for the SHRM exam. So don't number 1. If you are taking the exam outside of the US, outside the United States, please do not sit and memorize all the American laws and regulations, which is the very last section of the learning management system, because they will not appear on your exam. Don't spend the time memorizing those laws, those sections, those case names, because they would not be appearing on your exam. If you just want to read through them because you're curious and you want to enhance your knowledge, please go right ahead, but that is certainly not the focus of the exam. Don't number 2. So a lot of people have messaged me saying that they have been memorizing a lot of things in the learning management system. And here's what I want to tell them. For any exam, for any subject, one of the things that we must do is scope the subject. What do I mean by that? Well, we need to know what is testable and what is not. So one of the things that appear very frequently in the learning management system or the books, if you've ordered the paper books, is something called a competency connection. There are 6 major competencies for the SHRM exam, and every competency has sub-competencies. So these could be just topics that you will see. Every time you click into a topic, you'll see something called a competency connection. This is more of a story as to how an HR professional was involved into getting some work done, into talking maybe about conflict resolution or helping out in a very serious situation where nobody could do anything else. This is not something that you want to commit to memory. This is really something to read through. Read through so that, once you really just understand what they're trying to say in conflict resolution or in communication, then you can answer all those situational judgment questions very easily. Again, don't spend the time to memorize this. This is really not important. And my don't number 3 is actually similar to don't number 2. Don't spend the time doing things that are not going to appear on the exam. How would you know whether something appears on the exam or not? I think it's very easy to look at the quizzes and look at the SHRM practice exam questions and have a sense of what's going to appear. So let's take an example. In the competency called interpersonal, there is a section on culture, and there is a topic on Hofstede's cultural dimensions. There are various dimensions mentioned in that particular table, and I'm going to have an image appear right here in this video so that you know what I'm talking about. The dimensions vary from power distance to masculine, feminine, individualism and collectivism. And they go on to explain what these terms mean. They also go on to mention many country names where one trait overpowers the other. So, the US could be more individualistic in nature, whereas an Asian country would be practicing more of collectivism. Power distance is more in certain countries or less in the others. Don't spend your time memorizing every country trait or what goes where, because it's probably not going to appear on the exam. So what do you want to memorize? You want to really know and learn what those traits mean, those dimensions mean, and how it applies in a setting. What does high power distance setting mean, or a low power distance setting mean? And what really happens when high power and low power come together? I think that is the point of the exam, and that's what I mean by scoping the subject. It's easy to think that I'm going to commit everything to memory, but I think that's what they really mean when they say understand instead of just memorizing. So don't spend the time memorizing all the country names, because nobody's going to ask you whether, Malaysia is a high power distance country or a low power distance country. The point is really to understand what happens when a Malaysian and an American come and interact together. And that's what really a situational judgment question would be based on. So this is a short video that I'm doing, and to wrap it all up, I only had a three don't series in this video. Don't number 1, don't memorize American laws if you're not appearing for the exam in the US. Don't number 2, don't spend the time memorizing competency connections, which do appear very frequently in the learning management system. And don't number 3, don't spend the time memorizing things that are not going to be on the exam. And one classic example I gave you is of country names in terms of Hofstede's cultural dimensions. Again, I really hope these videos are helping you. If they are, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.